Gentlemen, pay attention. What I'm about to reveal will change how you see your relationship forever. Right now, your wife could be hiding something, and the questions she refuses to answer. They tell the story she's desperate to keep secret. Today, I'm exposing 8 questions that could uncover the truth she's been avoiding, and each one is a crack in her carefully constructed lie. If you're ready to see behind the mask, hit like, subscribe, and join me on this journey. Tell me, what city are you watching from? The answers will shock you. Question 1. Where were you really? At first glance, it seems simple, a straightforward question about her whereabouts. But when she hesitates, shifts the topic, or gives you vague answers, that's your first red flag. Where were you really? Is more than just a question. It's a litmus test for whether she's hiding something. A woman who's innocent will provide details easily, even if she's busy or tired. A woman who's cheating, she becomes elusive, defensive, or overly detailed in the wrong ways. Here's what it looks like in real life. She says she went to a work meeting, but the timeline doesn't add up. She mentions meeting a friend, but when you casually ask who, she freezes for a second and mutters something non-committal like, "Oh, just someone from the office." Her body language tells the story, her words try to hide. Crossed arms, tight jaw, and a rapid blink pattern. Some women even preemptively craft alibis. They'll mention friends who can vouch for them, or sprinkle the names of coworkers, gym trainers, or neighbors into their story to make it feel credible. But these over-prepared details often create inconsistencies you can spot if you pay attention. She wants you to believe she's just busy, just social, just normal, but her hesitation is a silent confession. The key here is precision. Ask her a simple follow-up, like the exact time she left, the route she took, or what she wore. The more she dodges or changes details, the more you know that her story is being constructed in real time to cover a lie. And here's the worst part. This is only the beginning. The next question she avoids is even more telling. It goes beyond location and starts to expose who she's emotionally invested in. Once you notice this pattern, you'll start seeing cracks in every other story she tells. Question 2. Who are you texting? You might think this question is simple, almost routine. Who are you texting? But if she avoids it, deflects, or suddenly becomes protective of her phone, that's a glaring warning sign. Who are you texting? Is one of the questions cheaters dread most because it forces them to confront a truth they've worked hard to hide. A woman who is innocent won't hesitate to share a name, even jokingly. A woman who's hiding an affair, she's suddenly evasive, overly defensive, or acts annoyed for no reason. In real life, this avoidance looks like sudden body tension or a change in her voice when the question is asked. She may say, "Oh, it's nothing," or "just a friend," while her fingers instinctively shield the screen. You notice the way she holds her phone at a certain angle, types with rapid, cautious movements, or deletes messages immediately after sending. These are all subtle but telling clues. Some women take it further, using hidden apps disguised as everyday tools, a calendar app, a note-taking app, even a weather app. Each one becomes a private channel where conversations, photos, or messages can be stored without your knowledge. What seems like normal phone behavior is actually a sophisticated way to conceal an emotional or physical connection elsewhere. Even the smallest reaction can reveal the truth. A flicker of hesitation, a micro-expression of anxiety, or a vague explanation that doesn't fit her usual behavior, all of these are signs that she's avoiding honesty. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. The next question she avoids is even more revealing, because it's not about who she communicates with. It's about the changes she's made in her daily life to hide something from you. Once you spot that pattern, you'll see just how carefully she's constructed her world to keep you in the dark. Question 3. Why did you change your routine? Have you noticed sudden shifts in her schedule that don't make sense? Maybe she's hitting the gym at odd hours, starting new hobbies, or taking spontaneous errands. On the surface, these seem harmless, even admirable. But when she avoids explaining why she's changed her routine, that's a glaring warning. Why did you change your routine is one of the questions cheaters dread because it exposes inconsistencies they've carefully orchestrated. In everyday life, this avoidance looks subtle but revealing. She might shrug and say, "Just felt like it," or claim she's trying to improve herself, while her tone is sharper than usual. Perhaps she suddenly wakes up earlier to go for a run you never knew about, or she spends hours at the gym without giving a clear explanation. She might also mention friends or new classes as a casual excuse, but the timing of these activities often aligns suspiciously with moments when you know she shouldn't be alone. The key is patterns. A one-time schedule change could be innocent, but repeated, unexplained adjustments are different. She may be building alibis, constructing excuses, or carefully inserting distractions into her day to conceal time spent elsewhere. Watch how she reacts when you ask for details. If she becomes defensive, dismissive, or vaguely evasive, it's a strong signal that something is being hidden. Even more revealing is how she anticipates your questions. Some women preemptively create stories for their new activities, planting believable but fabricated explanations in your mind. She wants you to see her as motivated, busy, or self-improving, but really, she's using these changes as a shield to cover her deception. And here's the thing. This question is just the beginning of uncovering her hidden life. The next question she avoids doesn't just reveal where she's been, it exposes the people she's been spending time with and why you've never met them. Once you notice that, you'll realize just how carefully her world has been arranged to keep you blind. Question 4. Who was that call from? It seems simple enough. You notice her phone light up or hear a notification and ask, "Who was that call from?" But when she avoids answering, becomes tense, or gives a vague response, that's a major red flag. Who was that call from is one of the questions cheaters hate because it can reveal the people they're emotionally or physically connected to. A woman who's innocent has no reason to hide the caller's identity. A woman who's hiding an affair. She suddenly becomes defensive, anxious, or overly casual in a way that doesn't match her usual behavior. In practice, this avoidance can take many forms. She may quickly say, "Oh, just a friend," or "work stuff," but her body language tells another story. She might cover the phone screen, angle it away from you, or speak faster than normal. The micro-expressions are there too. A fleeting hesitation, a small frown, or a barely noticeable flicker of worry. Even when she smiles or laughs, it can feel forced, an attempt to mask the truth. Some women go further, creating elaborate explanations for each call. She may insist it's a colleague or a distant relative, timing her story so it coincides with your daily routine. These fabrications are meant to appear natural, but small inconsistencies often slip through. The repeated avoidance of identifying callers builds a pattern that tells you she's protecting someone she doesn't want you to know about. What makes this even more insidious is that she uses the ambiguity to test your reactions. She gauges how much you notice, how much you question, and how much you trust her explanations. Your hesitation or doubt becomes a tool she can manipulate. And this is just the beginning. The next question she avoids hits closer to home. It's about her emotions and what she's truly feeling for you, and it's impossible for her to fake the response. Once you notice this, you'll start seeing just how far she's gone to hide her attachment elsewhere. Question 5. Are you happy with me? It's a question every partner should be able to answer honestly. Are you happy with me? But if she avoids it, deflects, or gives you vague answers, it's a warning you cannot ignore. Are you happy with me isn't just about satisfaction, it's about emotional investment. A woman who is faithful and connected will answer sincerely, even if she has small complaints. A woman who is cheating, she avoids it, overcompensates, or redirects the question to make you feel guilty for asking. In real life, avoidance looks like subtle deflection. She might laugh nervously, change the subject, or respond with a rehearsed compliment, like, "Of course I'm happy, why wouldn't I be?" The problem is in the details, or the lack thereof. She doesn't elaborate, she doesn't engage emotionally, and there's no spark in her response. Instead, you feel a strange emptiness, as if her words are hollow. Overcompensation is a key signal. Sometimes she will shower you with affection, gifts, or attention immediately after you ask, as if to distract you from answering honestly. This sudden increase in care is not genuine. It's a cover-up, a psychological smokescreen to make you believe that everything is fine, while her emotional focus is elsewhere. Another clue is her tendency to turn the question back on you. She may ask, "Are you happy with me?" repeatedly, framing the issue as if you are the one responsible for her feelings. This is a classic tactic to avoid revealing her true emotions and to manipulate your perception of the relationship. But this isn't just about feelings. The next question she avoids exposes who she spends time with and who she values emotionally, revealing the hidden connections she's trying to keep secret. Once you see this pattern, the reality of her actions becomes impossible to ignore. Question 6. Who do you spend time with? It seems harmless to ask, "Who do you spend your time with?" But when she avoids the answer or becomes evasive, it's a major warning sign. This question reveals whether she's surrounding herself with people who help hide her secrets. A woman who is faithful will answer openly, naming friends, co-workers, or family. A woman hiding an affair, she dodges specifics, lumps people together vaguely, or deflects entirely. In daily life, avoidance shows subtly. She might say, "Just some friends from work," or, "Oh, you know, the usual group," while her tone tightens and eye contact falters. These small behaviors indicate discomfort and suggest she's protecting someone she doesn't want you to notice. The pattern is key. She suddenly has more group activities, claiming they're casual social obligations. She emphasizes that everyone is included, never giving details about individual interactions. This is intentional. By keeping things vague, she hides the person she's emotionally or physically invested in. Even casual mentions of friends are carefully chosen to reinforce her alibi. Watch her consistency. Does she frequently change who she claims to spend time with? Is she evasive about male friends or neighbors? These behaviors signal that something is being concealed. What makes this tactic insidious is that it appears normal. Group events, gym buddies, or social clubs seem innocent, but they are convenient covers for private interactions. And the next question she avoids goes beyond social activity. It's about her digital life, where hidden messages and contacts reveal the full scope of her betrayal. Once you notice this, the web she's carefully constructed becomes impossible to ignore. Question 7. What are you hiding on your phone? It seems obvious, but asking, "What are you hiding on your phone?" can provoke one of the most telling reactions a partner can give. This question hits the nerve of her digital secrecy, and it's one she will do everything to avoid. A woman who is innocent doesn't need to hide anything. She may be protective of her privacy, but she answers clearly when asked about messages, calls, or apps. A woman who's cheating, however, reacts defensively, abruptly, or tries to distract you. In real life, this avoidance is subtle yet revealing. She may stiffen, cover the screen with her hand, or suddenly become overly casual, saying, "Nothing, don't worry about it," while her tone carries an unusual edge. Some women even attempt the reverse tactic. They'll offer the phone seemingly transparently, hoping you'll assume everything is fine, while sensitive messages, photos, or apps remain hidden or pre-scheduled. Look closer at patterns. Does she have secret apps disguised as calendars, utilities, or games? Are notifications muted or quickly deleted? Does she act overly protective when a specific contact messages her, but casual with everything else? These micro-behaviors are not coincidences. They're carefully constructed to conceal connections she doesn't want you to see. Even when she seems to cooperate, the timing of her openness often feels strategic. A sudden willingness to share can be a calculated move to throw you off, while the real information stays just out of reach. The tension in her reaction, the inconsistency of her answers, and the subtle gestures all signal something she doesn't want you to uncover. But here's the most revealing part. This question is only a stepping stone. The next question she avoids goes beyond digital secrecy. It touches the core of her emotional loyalty. Once you notice it, you'll start seeing the true pattern of where her heart and attention are really going. Question 8. Who do you really care about? This is the most dangerous question of them all. Who do you really care about? It's not about her friends, her co-workers, or her family. It's about where her emotional energy truly lies. When a woman avoids this question, it's a clear sign that her heart is invested somewhere other than with you. A faithful partner answers honestly, even if it's difficult. A woman hiding an affair, she dodges, deflects, or redirects the conversation because revealing the truth would destroy the carefully maintained illusion she's built. In real life, her avoidance manifests in subtle ways. She might laugh nervously, shift her eyes, or pause for a fraction of a second too long. She may respond with something vague, like, "I care about so many people," or turn the question back on you, asking, "Why do you ask?" This is a psychological tactic. She gauges your reaction, measures your suspicion, and buys herself time to maintain control over the narrative. Other signs appear in her behavior. Watch how she allocates her attention. Who does she prioritize when she has free time? Who does she seek out for emotional support or excitement? Even seemingly minor gestures, like texting someone first after work or smiling at specific messages, can reveal where her emotional focus truly lies. The most telling detail is her hesitation. Any delay, any subtle discomfort, signals a truth she cannot admit. She may try to cover it with charm or affection, but the avoidance is never fully disguised. And here's the final twist. This question ties together all the previous ones. It exposes the emotional web she's woven, the hidden connections, and the loyalty that's been diverted elsewhere. Once you see where her heart is going, every other lie, every evasive answer, every hidden text starts to make sense. See you in the next video.